Hey guys, happy Thursday. Like I said, sorry I'm a little late. We had a little bit of an appointment thing going on. But we're here. We got it going on. The rain subsided. And let's see what we got. If you guys stayed tuned with me on Wednesday, I actually got that art piece done up and I actually got it scanned in. You'll see it in the little slideshows. Let me actually put the slideshow up so you guys can see it. But let me flip over. I actually got it already framed up and set up like that, so that's actually a pretty good sized piece. You can look at it from me. Anyhow, let me flip over to the live analog area. So this is what we got. We did it Wednesday during the day. I had a little extra time, like I was saying, where I was just going to start doing whenever I work, and I work at this table and stuff. When I do artwork and stuff, I was just going to log in and start doing kind of like a live stream tour. Don't really use the mic that much or chat too much. What's going on, Scroll Reaper? How you doing today, brother? So what we're doing is we got this one done. We got this one done. So we got two of them. So now we're just going to work on this one that I already did a sketch piece on. Kind of got the rough layout of it. Now we're going to do some cleanup and start putting all the details in on it. So how you doing today? You had yourself a good Wednesday, good day today? Things been going well? Let me put my glove on. Just waking up and starting my night. How you doing? Doing good, man. Just had a little, they had a parent teacher night thing for my daughter, so was out doing that, meeting all the new teachers and whatnot. So that's what was the little hold up for tonight. But we got this nice little piece we're going to start working on here. And I think I kind of got it laid out a little bit. I need to where we can actually get this guy rolled out. Things are moving forward. Good. Getting some progress on the portfolio. Excellent. So, yep, I got this one. I think we got to come up with one more after this, and that way I'll have a set of four for this this kind of series that I did. Howdy, Brian. Apparently with the teachers. Yeah, it did go pretty well and stuff there, brother. Actually went really well. So now get back here and kind of get a little bit of downtime, a little bit of unwind time. So, so what's been new? Anything new, guys? Anything new happening? There we go. Taking Doug outside and getting the day started. Cool. Go for it, man. We all got dogs in here. I just literally did that with mine when I came in. She was losing her mind a bit. It's great. Good deal, Brian. Yeah. So let's see here. Let's kind of got this cleared out. Make sure I got a nice sharp area up. See if we can do a little bit of catch up on this. So let's go with start. We'll get the eyes kind of laid out on this one. Maybe give this one a little, just a little turn up there for that. Give it a little bit thicker. Nothing new on your side. All right, Brian. So, now next week I'll start working on an aircraft. Got nothing too crazy. We're just going to be replacing all the RG400, the coaxial cable line for both radios, and let's see here. Usually I get a little bit of a warm up in, but I haven't done much of that today. I did sell two of my new games yesterday. Oh, well, cool. One's kind of like Jenga, and the other was a game show game. Very neat, man. So glad you got that going on. That's a good deal. Okay, maybe we'll give like a little reflectionary piece in that. You'll no doubt enjoy working on the aircraft. Oh yeah. Well, I'll start back up all my like on my videos I usually do in the morning when I go out there and I do some work on it. It sound like crazy. I hope they start sounding like crazy too, man. That'd be a neat thing. That'd be really cool to have happen. But yeah, nope. So next week I should start putting back out some of my videos of the aircraft I work on and whatnot, and what's going on for the day out there. Everybody usually likes to see that. And let's see, I haven't heard back. Yeah, almost got that one quote together for the other plane. That one will be another neat big job that you'll see all sorts of neat new equipment brought in, and won't do a custom panel on it, but we'll it's got a nice panel in it anyway. We'll do some blanking plates and whatnot to kind of make it work. Alright, so I kind of got that. We're going to do kind of simulate a light area for the eye, where the eye is going to be, so that way when I get ready to render it, we'll get a good idea for that. I love your plane videos. Well, thanks, man. Yeah, it's something you usually don't get the chance to see, if you're not somebody who's ever been in a private plane or whatnot, or it's just kind of one of those areas that kind of doesn't get that much notice on, or unless you're a pilot or you work on them, you don't really get to see more into that. And it's pretty interesting. That's not too bad. That looks actually pretty good. Let's do this. Let's give this one a little bit more of a nose right there. And then what we'll do is we'll go like this. There we are. I don't really want to shade in all that too much because it's just going to get inked anyway. So let's kind of where that eye is, we want to. That's true. I don't see the things that show you anywhere with the airplanes. Yeah, you won't see too much, and most mechanics and stuff, they don't like to show what they're working on or that anyway. I guess they're some people are nervous about showing that in case they might do something they mess up, but it is what it is. If you kind of follow the book and everything on it, shouldn't have too big of a deal with that. So let's see, go that way. Let's see if we can give her a nice cheek, nice little soft cheek here. Maybe we'll curve that chin, not make it so pointy. It doesn't look too bad. Don't want to make it too thick though. I want to keep a nice smooth feel. There we go. Make it feel like a three-dimensional piece. So we got that, so we want to we can give her a little upper lip too if we want. I don't like the upper lip part of it. Maybe we'll just kind of give it like so. Then we'll give a little soft section there. That doesn't look too bad. All right, let's see what we got going on. Let's see, we'll do this way. Kind of have a little part laid out this way. And let's see, kind of go like so. But yeah, looking forward to for actually this. I was going to do this a little bit earlier, but I had some other stuff I was working on and whatnot. Of course, I got a design rhetoric class, a visual communications 3 class, and what was the other one? Technology and design class that's going on for the fall term here for myself. So kind of got some of that stuff jammed out. Clean up some of the construction lines that are left over. Let's see if we can kind of got the eyebrow there. See how that looks. That doesn't look too bad. And then over here we'll do the same thing. There we go. And here we can kind of do the same little hair pull part. Just gonna have doing a little bit of a bigger flower on this side. Get the little middle section here. Okay. Run it through that way as well. All right. This one will have a couple little like that. That shouldn't look too bad. Do one else up here. Yeah, that's all right. Let's see. Yeah, that doesn't make it look too flat. I'm trying to give it just a little bit of a look to it. Alright, so we got that. Let's see. Oh, we got anybody? Okay. Let's see here. Music going, music going. A little bit out of sort. Not used to starting this late. But it's okay. This one will have a little bit more sharper petals on this flower. I think we might do that way. And we'll give her a little ribbon too, with what we'll end up putting in her hair as well. And yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Maybe we'll see how that goes. Yeah. And I think I gave her a neat little earring as well for this one. So let's see what we got. Might kind of give this one a little, might do a couple little things on this one. Kind of like a build up. Give her a dangly. Okay. And her little hairpiece, we'll give her a little ribbon that'll come hanging down as well. A little graphic design for that, just some little abstract design for the ribbon. So let's see, that one was a little bit too sharp. Gotta remember to keep lifting up that elbow. Work the shoulder, and work it in the shoulder instead. There we go. That looks better. Go that way. And of course we'll have a neckline. Let's see, so the way the hair and the scalp will come down about that way. Not bad. There we go. Alright. Let's see here. Let's bring that up a little bit taller instead. Not too bad. Clean up some of these lines. Let's give this one a little. Give this a little strip up top here that we'll clear out. Alright. Haven't quite decided what I want to do for the number 4 yet. Maybe they've done like a little sun part here. The other one was a circle that she was out of, and the other one was the circle that she was in. So I might want to keep the whole circle thing going on. I just haven't decided what I want to do yet. But anyway, we'll work on this one first. First things first. It's always good though to keep something running in the back of your head for what could be a new idea. Maybe I'll get it while I'm working on this. Let's try, that's going to come across, so about here. And we'll have a little bit of a layering, it'll come down. And then we'll just kind of, no, I don't want to swoop it out, I want to swoop it over the opposite direction. So let's change that up. Kind of make this sort of like that. There we go. Alright, so I got the little piece there. We might actually do, let's see, something similar like I did with the other yukata that was done. It's kind of like it has a midsection that is drawn on it, or that I drew on the other one. Kind of like almost like a rope top. And of course from here we'll have a slide off center. Do maybe a knot, like one of the rope knot pieces. Something so like that, and then we'll kind of show up another type of like almost like a rope belt. What we'll do for this one, kind of make it, gotta make it kind of look like it rolls. So yeah, we'll do it that sort of way, sort of like it kind of overlaps each other. That way you can kind of see it's kind of like a bound rope. Something like that. That should work. Kind of follows a nice decent curve. Show like has a little bit of an opening bowl. My game got rained out. They played 2 tomorrow. Oh jeez. Well, if it was anything like around down here in my neck of the woods, man, we were getting rained out also. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, I got a tenner in yesterday. I wasn't happy about it. Yeah, my dog doesn't like she doesn't like going out because especially if the grass is the way it grows like crazy with all this stuff. Also, she just doesn't like the way the grass tickles her behind when she has to go to the bathroom, which to me I think is hilarious. Let's see if we can kind of give that a little bit of a point, a little bit more of a point than what that was, like that. That looks good. There. Got the little seam. Little drop. I think this one I'm going to make, I made this kind of extra long to where it looks like her hands will be covered inside, you know, like one of those long ones that they have where their arms are down and you actually can't see their hands. Not that I'm not good at hands, it just didn't feel like doing it today. So, there we go, maybe do that. Maybe we'll do like a little flower print here or something like that. Let's see. Oh wow, my garage just doesn't like the wet grass no matter the size. I do need to mow the backyard in one of the weeks I've grown quiet. Yeah, it doesn't, right now it's, you know, you got to stay on it every week. Maybe we'll do that and do a couple little, yeah, that doesn't look too bad. And let's see, let's kind of, something sort of similar. We'll kind of give it a little more of an oval look over here. Maybe we'll do like just some little grid graphic on that. And we will give it sort of another fold, but let's make it look more like it's a fold, but it's kind of a design piece with it. Let's kind of do that. That should work out nice. Give a little double on that. Nice playlist today. It's working out. Flares out a little bit more that way. Also got to give her little backpack thing. Need to add that in. My backyard gets worse in the front because there's more weeds and grass. The front can go 1.5, 2 weeks usually, but not the back. Yeah, my backyard gets a little out of hand, but that's also because I have other plants and whatnot back there. So, and then she'll have like a little bow. Lower half to kind of match that. design shape on that. We'll come up with something. Let's see here. Maybe here we'll... Makes sense. She's looking great. Oh, thanks, man. Let's see. We might actually... extend this out a little bit more too. Kind of feel like it needs more. It needs more onto it. Maybe we'll bring it out towards, maybe it doesn't come nearly as high in the back. Maybe it drops down a little bit more. Maybe that'll help fill it out a little bit better. I think that might work out nice. I'll be right back. It's a garbage day for me. Oh yeah, I got trash tomorrow also. I'll put that out once I get done with this. It's probably a good thing I didn't put out early the way the storm was coming through. Yeah, just a couple little designs. That should look pretty cool. Let's see. Now we got it down here. We can probably still want to go from here, but I think we're going to kind of run it like that. That'll be good. That definitely thickens it out better. It feels more correct that way. Just feels right. Better. That looks more like it. Give it a little bit more of a fatter flare than that tucked in that way. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, let's see what we got. Just kind of throwing little shapes out, sort of what looks like might look like it'll be pretty cool. Just trying some different little abstract pieces. Trying to think of what colors to kind of throw it through. I've been doing this influence been mainly primary colors I've been using with these guys, and just with a slight change and maybe some tonal, tonal area, a little bit more saturation or not. Nothing too crazy. Kind of gives a nice feel to it. In this one, it's kind of nice because if you look at the rule of thirds with things, So middle section here, so the upper half here along this rule of thirds here is along the eye line, and down here on this rule of thirds you'll notice is actually where the belt line is. So that's why you got a nice good little section that way. And then if you look at rule of thirds here, we're going to have this outer area, so we're going to have something, I'll probably put some sort of graphic that'll come out this way, and then off of this area we kind of have the arm area for it. So it gives a nice good composition piece all the way through it. So let's see, just got to do it, that's all. Just got to make it. So we got that way, kind of comes into there. Let's give this a little curve, maybe like that. Got the bottom half here, so we'll, that doesn't look too bad, kind of gives it a little bit of a breakup. So we'll do an extra layer that way. Back, try to get my girl out to no avail. Yeah. She goes out because she knows she has to. She's gotten old enough for that though. You're just still a pup. So we kind of go from here. Let's maybe we'll do that, but we don't want. I don't want it to go all the way because that line looks a little bit too goofy. Maybe we'll just kind of do. Just kind of do that. And we'll just kind of. Maybe up higher. Yeah, he's just 2 years old. Yeah, mine's a girl. My girl's old 10-year-old doggo. So let's see. I don't know. I'm just kind of making just some. I'm thinking of triangle shapes in this. It may or may not work. We'll see. That I find is the one thing that it does come up when you start to try and do like a group of them. Sometimes you start to peter out on some neat ideas, and then sometimes while you're kind of losing your steam, something pops up and you end up changing a lot of it out. Hopefully this won't happen that way, but we'll see. That just gave me a good idea because her hair is going to be like the dark blue and the black. That's going to be for that. So, but most things I've been thinking other colors. Maybe I'll use this area and make a nice shadow area, like the other side of the, like you can see just on the other side of the yukata, like where it's kind of pulled out a little bit. Maybe that might actually look pretty cool. Let's do that. Let's have an idea. I think that might actually look pretty good. Pretty good. We'll just kind of. I think I'm just going to, at this point, I want to lower that a little bit, but I think I might bring this stuff up to about maybe here and just kind of give it a nice straight across. And then just that kind of be the lower section of it. I think that'll work. That should look pretty cool. He just changed his mind. Yeah, I do that. Not the end of the world. Yeah. I think that'll look cool. Alright. Do something there. Maybe a couple little. Yeah, see? Maybe we'll bring this level up a tiny bit here, just for this. This would could be the other sleeve. We can, because it'll kind of match that, but we want it to make it work. Alright, so kind of do something that way. Bring that in that way. Let's get the other sleeve on here. That way she has two arms. There we go. that. Let's see. I think I want to give it a little bit more of a flare. Maybe a little bit more of a... Take it this way. We'll flip it upside down. That way I can give it a little bit more of an outside curl. So like that. That looks a little better. Yeah, that'll work. Don't know if you saw my post where you saw before bed when I went outside and he immediately took off, lunged back and barked. Oh, the possum, yeah. Yeah, I had one of those, gosh, a couple months ago in my backyard. So, actually caught him on the camera, the backyard camera, which was funny. And he sat there for like, Lily, I guess, can run out there to go to the bathroom, and that's what made him kind of freeze and sit still. But he was, I thought he was dead, because literally he was there on the camera for a couple of hours. You know, I couldn't believe that actually worked out like that. So, let's see here. It kind of feels flat. Let's bring this. Let's put an angle. Let's see. That gives a little more shape to it. All right. Let's see what we want to do here. Let's take a peek here. Well, looks like a good laying area. Maybe about there. That looks like it might have a good balance point out. And we'll just, what we'll do is we'll put something out here, but we'll bring it down ever so slightly. Yeah, it was a long time. It was a couple hours on the camera where I was like, yeah, he must be dead. He must have died. And then the next thing I know, the next time it had some motion on the camera, when I watched the feed overnight, suddenly he was gone. And I was like, well, nothing picked him up and carried him away. So we'll kind of have that. Maybe we'll do a little something over here. Then we'll kind of flip-flop it. We'll bring this guy up just about up here, and we'll do something over here. So this one will step down, that one will step up. Alright. And gotta reach up here. I might have the lights too bright, but we'll see. Maybe I can, let's see. That might be a little bit easier on my face. I just took a look at the screen and noticed that I actually, alright. So, what to do? Kind of got something neat going on there. Kind of like to go a little bit that way. Maybe we'll put it right about here. We'll do something right here. Do some circular pattern there. And maybe we'll make it a little bit smaller, and we'll put it at a slight angle up. And we'll do another circular pattern outside. Okay. That's true. It was the second I've seen months ago. There was one in the neighbor's tree or long weeds right next to the fence. McGraw kept jumping up at it. Yeah, them doggos, man, they like to, they do not like anything else in their yard. So let's see here. Okay. I haven't decided yet what we're going to put out there. We'll put something. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to kind of have like a rising sun, where the others had like a blue sky in the background. I think I'm going to make this the actual sun. So that should come out pretty cool looking. You can kind of do that. That should actually, and that'll complement nicely the colors when we get ready to put them on. But anyway, let's see if we can put some stuff, fill that stuff in here. Maybe we'll, just kind of give a little band here. Maybe we'll give it sort of like to there instead. them, of course. Something like so. Do a different circle for shape for that. Maybe we'll... Maybe we'll have to break that up a little bit. Put something that way. Put something this way. We'll do... Maybe make that a little bit shorter. They sure don't. He almost got a little kitty once that night after playing the head possum. Yeah, we used to have cats in our yard, come into our yard, but Lily kind of got rid of them all. She didn't kill them, but they just decided, you know, it'd be better off not to go play in there. So, let's see. Yeah, that'll work. Let's do something here also. Maybe that way. Maybe we'll do a couple little clouds over here as well. I think that's what I'm gonna. This one will have clouds in it. We'll do that. One kind of had some flowers. Maybe this one we'll do more clouds with. We'll do more clouds with it. Should work out okay. All right. So let's see here. Let's see. Sometimes I do okay with clouds. Sometimes I don't. But partly that's because, you know, they can be anything. So that's just kind of what type of cloud really lends itself to look good. Yeah. Yeah, I already see them in the backyard. They come in the front every once in a while, but not as often. Last week there were 3 in the drive. McCall didn't like it. We couldn't get him. My dog likes little dogs. She wants to so badly play with them that she loses her mind anytime she hears one outside being walked or whatnot, and she's like, oh, I gotta be out there. Maybe we'll kind of do this one like, yeah. Kind of make an abstract looking bird over here or something sort of that way. Well, let's keep up with the cloud thing. Crowd does what dogs do. He doesn't care what size he wants to play. That ain't too bad. I think Lily thinks sometimes that she is a little dog. No clue. Trying to kind of make these clouds not so puffy, but more kind of geometric, more graphic-y, sort of like a vector art, I'm thinking. So, you know, kind of blocking out. Almost looks so much. It kind of looks a little bit of almost like video game to me, a little bit. Like, I guess that's sort of, I was thinking, like, was it like Mario, Super Mario Brothers 2, or like everything had a nice blocky feel to. Probably don't think dogs realize their size. Yeah, no. Just thinks everybody can just hop on in. Got an idea. So let's clear that out because we'll put something in front of it. Good thing I got this guy out. Maybe we'll put another little, we'll do it on the inside like so. Maybe we'll do a bigger one for that. Maybe we'll put this guy around and we'll just kind of give him a nice border. Maybe we'll go a little bit deeper. That looks a little bit better. Yeah. Clean that up a bit. Alright. Yeah, I like that. Looks like it cuts into it. Okay, let's I don't want to do like a perfect star. Let's kind of do like a little weirdy looking star. You know, don't want it to look too. Wow, that didn't look too bad, but do another circle that way. Kind of do threes. Bloop, 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 and do kind of a three thing that way. Let's see, have you seen the new Mario Brothers movie? Nope, I haven't yet. But I probably, even though I rarely watch anything animated. Yeah, no, I haven't. I heard it was good. So, but no, I have not had a chance to. I did watch the new Indiana Jones movie, and that was good. That was definitely a good movie. If you have not watched it yet, definitely go and watch that. So. So. Let's see here. Get too crazy, but just maybe we can yeah, why not? We'll leave it in there. We need to put one, do something over here though. Maybe we'll do one over here too. Yeah, starts to balance it out. Starts to feel a little bit more evened out on that. All right, rock and roll. I think we're going to start doing some inking now. Grab a 0.4. Haven't seen the intermediate yet. Yeah, that one actually was worth it. I think they did a good job on it. Yeah, there were some inconsistencies, but it wasn't anything crazy. You know, it is a movie. So, all right, let's get inking. Thick, kind of like an eyeliner, mascara looking thing too. Now my folks actually went up and seen the that new Mission Impossible movie, and they said that was really good, but it's like a part one, like there's two parts to it. So they said you kind of have to wait for the other part. Now I was like, oh, this is talk about a cliffhanger type feel. But they said they did that was done. That was the new Mission Impossible movie. They did a really good job on that as well. So I got that one I need to watch. So and of course I think the Mario Brothers movie should be out and about now. So I think I saw that on Prime or something, where you can buy it on Prime or something to that effect. So little bit of eyelash there. Oh, I hate cliffhangers. They do at the end of a season of TV shows. Yeah, it makes you wait for it to come back. Yeah. Of course, I remember. Well, you remember. You'll remember it too. Back in the day, where You didn't have on demand for stuff. You know, you wanted to catch an episode that you might have missed. You had to watch to see when they were going to re-air it. Here we go. Nice and easy. There we are. You saw the Mario movie? It was okay? Cool. Animation was beautiful. The sound, direction, plot was very low tier. Oh, Mario Bros. On Peacock. Oh, okay. You back. Good deal. You seen the Indiana Jones movie yet? I thought they did a good job on that. That was a good closing for it. So I want to see the Mission Impossible movie. Um, so I remember my daughter and me were out goofing off, and I guess it happened to be at the same time when the Barbie movie came out, and we were we didn't realize it at first, but we were like, man, there's a lot of people in pink. And I didn't know there was a new one. Yeah, yeah, no, it's the last one he's actually doing for it, and he wanted to kind of do the story like this to kind of close it out because it's showing him definitely as as is, and an old guy ready to hang it up and call it. So let's see. I think I'm only going to do this part. I'm going to ink back here, and we might actually do a little bit of thing with the hair this way. Kind of do the gemstone. So I think it came out, did a pretty good job on it and stuff, and it actually does provide a little bit of info to like where the Crystal Skull one was, where they had was it Shia LaBeouf or LaBeouf, however you say his last name. So it kind of does give a lead up on what happened with him. Have you ever played Indiana Jones the game? Oh, or also Uncharted, yeah. Now I've actually played the Indiana Jones games. I think they had one on the computer, and it came out on PlayStation 2, and it was the Indiana Jones and something of the Lost Tomb or something like that. And it was like the earlier version of Uncharted. This is before Uncharted actually came out, and I think had they done or had the capabilities like they had with Uncharted, I think those Indiana Jones games would have definitely worked out. Because they did a heck of a good job with it through it. But God, I'm trying to remember the name of this now. But it was like the guy's version of Tomb Raider is what it was. Because if we really want to go back to like OC type stuff like that, Tomb Raider was the actual original like puzzle type thing. So, but oh god, yeah, he had his whip. You could whip the guys, and man, when you did the punches with that, you had just like in the movies where it was just like Emperor's Tomb. That's right, that's what it was. Gosh, and the puzzles that were in that you had to go through. But yeah, they had all the same sounds and stuff that they used in there. Like when he punched, it sounded like you were hitting like. Even though it was a guy's face, it sounded like he was hitting like a trash can or something. It had such a strong echo to it. I just looked it up. Yeah, they did a heck of a job on it. Of course, I love all those old games and stuff like that. That brings me back to old computer days. I still wish that they would do. I think they actually did do a remake and bring it back, but it was originally on the Commodore, and it was called Zack. It was a LucasArts game too, and it was called Zack McCracken and the Alien Mindbenders. And if you've never played that, try and find that. I think they did a remake of it, and I haven't played that or checked that out yet. But you ever played a PS2 Lord of the Rings game? Oh my God. I remember seeing it. I think a friend of mine had bought it. So it was so funny on some of the stuff that they, anything that they could put their hands on to try and make in the games that were, some of them were good, some of them were kind of made you scratch your head and wonder. And look it up. Yeah, Zach McCracken and the Alien Mindbenders. That was a game of games. That was pretty darn cool. And on the Commodore, it was back where you had to pick out of your list of like go here, look at this, examine that, inspect this, talk to this person type of game. And it had such a storyline to it. So I thought it was pretty darn cool. But I think they did a remake with a newer thing because everybody loved playing it, and like they they had it to where it could be played on legacy, like legacy stuff. Yeah, yeah, it looks like the Flash style. Yeah, now that they have it sort of like a Flash type where they redid it. But oh yeah, you want to talk about having a story built inside that, and it's like a choose your own adventure type game too. Like you could do stuff in sequence, but you could do it out of sequence, but you might always have to go back and do some of the other stuff. So it was kind of one of those, or you could screw up something and then you're basically you knew you were screwed because if you messed up one of the things, you wouldn't be able to get the essential stuff that you needed, and you ran out of time. I gotta watch and make sure I don't ink certain things. I think we'll do that one. We'll ink. So I think I just noticed. I think my camera might be a little bit tilted. It's either that or I got it zoomed in. That's what it was. I had it zoomed in when I was doing some of the other stuff, working on the other stuff. Maybe not flash up, like you said, point and click. Yeah, that's what it was. And they had it on the Commodore, and it was the first real game you could use. Yeah, there's Zelda. Yeah, but on the Commodore, it was the first time when you actually had like the first type of feel of the mouse, or a cursor point area where you could actually use the cursor, and it was like the coolest thing at that time, you know. Let's see. But yeah, there was that. I think I liked it just because it wasn't like there was that one game that like what was it? Nintendo Refuses to Acknowledge its existence. Yeah, yeah, the Zelda. The That was sort of like that one that was on that movie Big with Tom Hanks. The where he had to type in what he wanted the guy to do and whatnot. And I can't remember the name of that game now. But they came out around the same time. But I liked Zach McCracken. It had a really nice original thing to it. But it was a LucasArts game. So, but now my favorite game I remember was on the Nintendo as I got older, and I think it was just because of the level of difficulty. It was born into I was born in a Super Nintendo, and very early on grew up on the 64. Yeah, no, I had let's see, I grew up with an Atari and the Commodore. I mean, so I'm a little bit older than most people think. But yeah, no, I remember when we got the Nintendo, one of my favorite games was a game called Blaster Master. And I think I liked it just because the game you couldn't save. You didn't even have a code. So you had to play through like, my bro had Link to the Past. Yeah, yeah, Link to the Past. That was like that's legendary. That's like an epic game. I remember we actually, on the Nintendo, I think my brother still has it. But the Commodore was actually it was a basic programming computer. The Commodore 64 and the 128. Like when I used it, like when I said the story about me using like one of the first paint programs, I actually we went to the electronic side at, I think it was a Kmart at the time, and they had on their rack they had the big 5 1/4 inch floppies. Yeah, Famicom is what you're thinking of. That is correct. And that's the Japanese version that really hit with that. Actually, I can think you can still find those in box and stuff over in Japan, which is hilarious. But no, the Commodore 64 was like you had to actually write the programming and then save it onto that floppy. Like you could buy the floppy and then the instructions on how to program it to play what you wanted to. So we did like all sorts of funny and hilarious games that we had bought with packs and whatnot as kids. You know, it was only like $1, you know, to buy a 5 1/4 inch floppy drive and a stack of paper that was printed out that had the instructions on the game to program, and then you got to play your different games, and that's how the official collection started of things, where you had your big pile of 5 1/4 floppies with your how to start them and get them to run. Yep, the programmer starter pack. That's exactly what it was. That's what I grew up with. First digital picture I did took, I think it was 8 hours when I was a kid, and you literally put in the color you wanted for each pixel. And they're not like pixels like what we have here, you know, where it's like, you know, the pixels are so beautiful here. I mean, it was literally like what you see for your cursor for like your typeface was like the size of that pixel, and you'd pick the color with that using the code, the code values, like what you see on Photoshop or any paint program. If you look up the values on it, that's where some programs used a hex code for the match the color that you needed for it. Want to make a game, and we want to see how far I can get done doing it solo. Really, yeah. I actually have some stuff that I've been playing with and putting together on. Blender is a great thing to start with, and there was a couple of I have to look through my programs and stuff to see, because there's a couple of good little freebie ones that you can use to start building stuff, even if you have limited coding on it or knowledge of coding. So it does help though if you do have some coding to it. So maybe I'll leave that one. Maybe I should do that one time for maybe a live stream. I'll pull out some of my, make sure I got some of the game builder stuff on this workstation. I think I have some of it on there. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that one time. Have to watch a video on Commodore 64. Yeah, it was when it came out. It was that. And then shortly after that came out the Commodore 128, 128-bit, you know. And my dad bought both of those. And I remember when there was the 386, the IBM 386 and 486, and we got both of those, the 386 and the 486 DX. Where you had a whopping hard drive. I think you were like considered a rich kid if you had, I think it was a 64 megabyte hard drive, because you could like play anything. You didn't have to uninstall stuff, you know. It was one of those type things. You're like, wow. It's like something with like a 3D hack and slash. Yeah, really like the combo mechanics of Darksiders 2, Darksiders 2, Darksiders, all the Darksiders 1, 2, even 3 is pretty good. I feel like it's the God of War and Zelda Ocarina of Time. Yeah, and make it have a Soulsborne like vibe. Yeah, the Darksiders games were definitely. I mean, Darksiders 1 was essentially when you dealt with war. You literally felt like you just were playing with Link, but like he had taken steroids for a long time. Like that literally was it. You know, and 3 did improve on the combat. You had more of a layout for things on that, I felt too on it. But yeah, 1 and 2 was definitely fun areas to it. But yeah, the plot was very bad, yes. But yeah, Darksiders 1 was that was literally like they just channeled Link into there and said, let's make Link look like the most evil, like meanest mofo on the planet. And we're going to make it feel like it, because literally I was like, find this chest, go through this maze, go that, and like, we're going to give him a massive sword. It's about time for Big Brother. I'll catch you Tuesday. All right, Brian, you take care, brother. Yeah, I know, I'm so off schedule on things. I'll probably work it a little bit later tonight. Just a little bit longer. See if I can get some more of this ink stuff done. And I'll probably log on and live stream maybe tomorrow. If not, it'll be over the weekend. Definitely I'll do it Saturday. And we'll do a live stream also on that. I'm trying to get more than just Tuesday and Thursday. So, but yeah, man, have a good weekend, Brian. God bless. Don't forget, let's create something together, man. So let's see here. This looks great. Have fun. Oh, thanks, man. Yep. I think I'm gonna actually. There's a place that I'm gonna that has digital prints. So I might actually set these guys up to where you can have them as put them as digital prints. So yeah. But oh gosh, yes, the video games. I remember what was it? I think it was Tomb Raider 3. And I remember with my buddies and stuff, it was probably the most memorable thing because we were playing it. We loved doing all the puzzles and stuff, but it was the first time that we were down in this cave, and every time you went to a place that you know that the crap was going to go down, the music starts playing. I mostly loved too. Music direction was amazing. Art direction, of course, Joe Mad can do no wrong. Yeah. Comment was cool up until the say then I was too overpowering, washing everyone. I hate that feeling of no challenge. Yeah, 3 I was getting curb stomped by regular foes. Yeah. 3 you definitely you couldn't just grind. I do remember that. So yeah, you couldn't just grind to have her, tap out, because those guys would actually they had it to where those characters actually boosted at the same time that. Like if you did, just to keep it to where it kept interesting. And you couldn't just Rambo it and go hack and slash in and just button mash everything. If you didn't do certain things for certain ones, I mean, you'd get your butt reamed. I do remember that. But oh yeah, Tomb Raider 3. Back to that. We remember we went and got into a cave. And as you're going in the cave, you start to see this little village. Yeah, they would knock you back. Yeah, that's true. But in the Tomb Raider, they had the cave, and the music. I remember it opened up, and it started to open this big expansive area, and you saw a couple little adobe, the dobos, type, Indian type cave buildings that was in there, and the music would start playing. So you're like, oh crap, what's going to happen now? And I remember we would slowly walk out and wait to see what would come on, and then the music just disappeared, and we were like, well, that was kind of strange, a little anticlimactic. And one wolf comes running out, and you'd shoot the wolf, and like, oh, that was it? All right. And then we walked 3 steps forward, and next thing you hear is this loud roar, and a freaking dinosaur, out of nowhere, they put a Tyrannosaurus Rex in there, and it starts chasing after you. And I'm like, of course you're doing your backflip, shooting, laying everything out to where you can get back to the little cave hole to where it can't run in there and get you. But talk about some hilarious stuff. I mean, just stuff that that's they threw that in. I could see them there at the, literally while they're developing the game, going, check this guys out. This will be something they'll never guess that'll be in there until it happens. So, but oh yeah, I gotta say, I had a pretty good childhood and life with video games and whatnot. So I had made some really good stuff. It's getting harder and harder to find those games, the type of games, because unfortunately most people just like the I mean, granted, I have played my share of Call of Duty and games like that, But just after a while of all just the killing and the war, the murder, war stuff, and everything's terrible, you kind of want to have something that has like a little bit more of a puzzle to it, a story, or you know, let's save this, not just, you know, you kind of get, they had that kick of all the realistic stuff. Also something you'll never forget. Yeah. The game, I remember with Dinos, it was Conkers. Oh, Conkers. Yeah, bad fur. He was the cat. Oh, gosh, yes. I do remember that. That was when they were doing they were bringing back side scrollers and stuff like that also. Like, because they did like the Roadrunner and like everything, like, they just were like high def type side scrollers. And that was hilarious. But yeah, and the styling with that was still cool. Yeah, the old exploration games. Yeah, adventure, whimsical, challenge. Doesn't hold your hand. Yeah, Red Squirrel. Yeah. Oh man, talk about some fun stuff. That's like coming down memory lane. Hey, man, I remember we had a arcade. I remember, gosh, the arcades. I remember the MAME games with the arcades. Those were the best. I remember spending quarters upon corner. 3D, yeah, yeah, Miro Spirit Mario 64. That's right. But oh no, I'm thinking of another one that was with a cat. It it wasn't Conquer. It wasn't Bad Fur Day. It was Close Encounters of the Furred Kind, and I'm trying to remember the name of the cat that was the side scroller. Yeah, I had them mixed up. You're right. Oh man, I don't know. I liked some of the weird games. The games that a lot of people were like, oh, they didn't take much interest in. I like the ones that had a little bit of rough edges around on them too. Let's see. Oh, hey, Frontier Man. Glad to see you're watching. But yeah, no, now there was a what was it on the 64? Besides, I mean, there was GoldenEye, which was awesome, but they might have had a Conkers that was side scroll before. It was first made as a cute game, but since Rare already made Banjo-Kazooie, they wanted to make something that wasn't too soon. Yeah, yeah, I remember that. And but no, oh geez, I just forgot. I was just oh yeah, yeah. GoldenEye, of course, was a phenomenal game. But when they came out, when they decided to supercharge it, when they made Perfect Dark, now that was a fun, hilarious game. I mean, that one they they like took the gloves off with. That was a very fun game. I remember getting Elvis, and if you've never played the game, Elvis wasn't actually Elvis. Yeah, Bubsy and Claws and Bubsy. Yeah, there was Claws Encounters of the Furred Kind. There was another one, Perfect Dark. Yes, I remember when I finally did and beat the challenge to where on multiplayer mode I unlocked Elvis for for my screen, which was the little alien. And the funniest thing about everybody hated him because he always got them tranquil. He had a tranquilizer gun, is what he had, that would just blur everybody's vision and screw them up. But they didn't realize that the coolest thing about him was that when he was standing up, he was already the height of squatting. So when you squatted down with him, everybody had to try and aim down to find you. So you would just go and run around and shoot people with the tranquilizers to where they'd get dizzy and their screen would blur. And then you'd go up and you'd basically just punch them or stab them. But yeah, GoldenEye was awesome. I remember when they redid I think it was the PlayStation 4, they redid GoldenEye again. And they did such a phenomenal job in making it look exactly like the movie, you know. And that was fun to play, especially what they had. I think they had the what was it? They had the motion controller, so you could put them into the gun that came with the new version of GoldenEye. I remember that because you could actually walk around and shoot like you would shoot the screen almost like you were doing like what was the old Nintendo game, Hogan's Alley, where you actually had the uh, the laser gun. So, gosh, that makes me kind of think of that movie, Agent Under Fire. Yeah, Agent Under Fire. Yeah, for 007. That if you haven't watched that, if you ever, it's been out for a while now, but it's called 8-Bit Christmas with Neil Patrick Harris. If you haven't watched that movie, literally everything he talks about in there is pretty much legitimate with the Nintendo coming out and how everything was, and the Power Glove. I remember my neighbors, buddies and stuff. He got the Power Glove, and it was exactly the same feeling. It was sort of like, what a ripoff. So, talk about bringing back some funny memories. Of course, we also had with our Nintendo, we got the one that had the track and field, all the sports, to where you actually had the you plugged it in to the player 2 port, because the one you could pick with the player 1, and it had the actual running pad. What's funny is I think my brother still has all of that stuff, and I think he still has the gamepad that we would roll it out. But oh my gosh, yeah. It was like all the Olympic games and stuff with the track and field thing, and you had the actual pad where you could literally, you would pop off and put in your socks on, and you would run in place, and you would have to jump to try and do the long jump. Man, you talk about working up a sweat. I remember Wii Fit and all that stuff when it came out. I was like, man, they have nothing compared to that old gamepad. You had to keep wiping the thing down so you wouldn't slip and fall, because you'd be sweating your butt off. Goemon's Great Adventure, yeah. Oh my gosh, I remember that. There was one that never got a lot of publicity on it, but what was it? Astyanax on Nintendo. It was so rough around the edges and stuff, but it was so much fun to just play with it, and the story wasn't bad, and like the between game graphics was the cool part of it. But yeah, it never made a big hit on it. I remember I enjoyed the snot out of that. That was another fun one. Man. Then there was it wasn't Captain Commando. Oh jeez. Maybe it was Captain Commando. He had like the bionic arm that you could grab and swing across. So it was about as difficult as that Ghouls and Ghosts on Nintendo. I mean, that was hilarious. And then, what was it? I remember when Final Fantasy came. I can definitely see what you mean. It was like a Final Fantasy of the time. Yes, with cutscenes. That's right. I was about ready to say this. Gosh, when Final Fantasy dropped, that literally was like, it was unheard of. I thought that was so cool. So, and then, of course, we missed out on a lot of the good ones until they, I think it was the 64, and then the PlayStation came out, and then they were able to then we started to get like the Final Fantasy 4, 5, like the actual, for side scrollers, yeah. The Indiana Jones game. Yeah, the Funny Frontier, man, we were just talking about, literally about the Emperor's Tomb. We were just talking about that a little while ago, and how cool that was. And, it was like, it predated Uncharted. I mean, Tomb Raider, I think, was the only one that was a little bit in front of it. But, man, it knocked out. I remember first Tomb Raider came out, and then the Emperor's Tomb came out, and it had such a fun, hilarious piece to it. I mean, of course, when you'd punch he also had all his audio commentary, to where every time you'd punch and beat up the guys. Yeah, the PlayStation 2 one, yeah. He would, you'd punch him or this, that, and he always had like his snarky remarks, his funny sayings that was through it, which I thought was pretty cool. Gosh. There was there was one game that I remember playing that a lot of people didn't watch the video about Final Fantasy's creations. Yes. Yeah, it put his jaw on the line. Nobody thought it would be able to do well since Dragon Quest was already so popular. Yeah, and it was too similar. That is exactly true. I remember seeing that too. And, of course, it's a good thing you did, because, man, look at it. The thing is a freaking empire. Heck, there's people that still play, was it Final Fantasy 11? I think my brother still plays that. And that's been 20 some odd years, that massive multiplayer. It was like one of the the first that really hit the ground. A massive online multi RPG game. Final Fantasy 11. My brother, he still plays that game. I know he still has it. So I think that one's actually. I think they just said that one's going to Steam. That's sort of like uh, what's the Star Wars one? God, I played that just recently. Let's see. It was Knights of the Old Republic, KOTOR. Yeah, that's actually going to Steam now. So I remember seeing that. That's been around for a long time too. It just has it got good content, good stories to it. So and that's sort of the hard part with things nowadays is if they don't give that where it has a good storyline to it, it just kind of falls apart. Or it's not like replayable, you know. I guess that's sort of the thing to it. Let's see here. Do that one. But no, but yeah, no. Back on the Nintendo one. I'm back talking about Blaster. I got off track from Blaster Master. That was probably the coolest game to me. You couldn't save. You had to go through all 8 levels. It was insanely difficult. And it was about the story was very simple. It was about a boy that had a frog that somehow there was a radioactive crate that the frog got onto, became really big, and then fell into a hole. The kid goes in, chases after the frog into this crazy hole down into the middle of the earth, and there's a tank there with a suit. So he suits up and he goes looking for his frog in his space age tank through all these levels. I mean, and he just fought these crazy underground alien creatures and stuff that were radioactively built and all that stuff. And I think I never finished it until I got old until I got older and stuff. And then you could have it as on an emulator to where you could actually save the game, because it took forever to get through all this stuff. And then once you did that, I finally got to see the ending to it, which was hilarious. You know, it was hilarious because of how simple it was. But man, talk about some fun replayability on that. So, but no, I've had some really good stuff. Well, where was another one? Another one, a 3D one, Spyro. Spyro the Dragon was another neat one because you actually could fly and kind of gave you that extra area. It was sort of like having a Superman game, but all the Superman games never seemed to pan out. They always seemed to have some sort of issue. I think the last one wasn't too bad that they kind of did, because they kind of used like the Spider-Man type engine type stuff that they used for doing the Spider-Man game, to where you kind of had the same thing of access to the big city area. It's just, I think it was on a older PlayStation system. It still wasn't quite up to snuff on handling that speed to it. So, but oh man, how far we've come with all that stuff now. But it's just finding some really interesting and neat content. I mean, let's see, what was it? Well, on the PlayStation 5, what is it? The little robot that Sony had made for their little guy that takes you through all of the PlayStation games, Sony stuff, that all the things, and it kind of goes through like the entire computer area and the worlds for that. Real simple, real fun playing game that was an exploration based one, and it was free. It came with the PlayStation 5 system. It was very fun. Let's see here. I think I'm going to do this way. But yeah, it gets interesting seeing all this stuff as you keep going down through time. And now there's some games I still like that are new that came out, like Cyberpunk was a fun story game to me. I mean, yeah, it was a little dark and grungy on some stuff, but it still had a pretty good story to it. I mean, and it is one theory of the way the world could turn into. So, but oh yeah. Now, what I do find is a little tough to put down are some of these gotcha games that they have now, like Genshin Impact. That's a fun game. And then there's Honkai Star Rail that came out, which they took a lot of the free. It was more like a turn-based attack style thing, which wasn't bad. And they do have a pretty good story to a lot of this stuff. So if you like listening to the stories and whatnot, they do have some pretty good areas. So, just pan frying the wings. Good deal. Yeah, let's see. Let's see here. I think I might make that a little bit thicker. Let's see. Let's run it that way. Run like that. Yeah. I think this weekend I'll be back online doing the live stream stuff, and I'll do the watercolor. Be right back real quick. All right, brother. Sounds good. Let's see what we got going on. Not too bad looking. I just want to get just enough to have a little bit of detail on that part, sort of like how I did the others. I don't want to go overboard on it. Oh yeah, the Tuesday night pick did turn out pretty well. Yeah, I actually got it. Wednesday during the day I decided to finish it up, like I was saying, where I was going to do a little bit more. I think I got it already scanned and put in a picture frame. So that's it in the frame. So that came out actually pretty decently on that. But oh yeah, that's right. I remember I added it to the slideshow. So, oh man. So maybe I'll just kind of hint at that will be there. Kind of have that. I don't really want to ink that. This I'll ink up here. I'm going to pull out my brush pen in just a moment. They really hit some of this thicker line area. Because I think this is the part that's going to really give a good composition when I go and do the darker hair. Alright, let's see. Do a couple of these. That looks pretty cool. Give a nice little design feel to it. And we'll just kind of leave them to where they'll be open. Maybe like that. Yeah. So, alright, well, let me grab the brush pen and kind of fill in some of those, and then that way we'll just work on doing watercolor and a little bit of colored pencil next time. So let's see here. Let's I think what I getting a little bit of that there. Let's go ahead and take care of some of the thick eyebrows up here. And I don't want to do the hair just yet because I'm going to be doing a lot more of the lighting with some of the blues and some of the golds and stuff for that through there. But we can fill in some of the other areas. There we are. Not too shabby there. There we go, that's looking good. Bit of like almost like I got a fold in between that. And let's see here. We kind of maybe play with it this way. Where it has a little bit of a reflection, give it a little more of like a smoother feel to it. So then we can do this one in the black also. That'll give a nice that'll kind of give a nice level area, because like I said before, rule of thirds, got the eye level here, next rule of thirds down here. So that's gonna come out pretty nice. Who knows, I get all my stuff done tomorrow. Maybe I'll do this tomorrow during the day. Or maybe I'll just work on the next sketch piece for the fourth one. Then we'll have to come up with a new theme or design. To put on. Something would make a pretty cool looking print. I think that doesn't look too bad. Okay, so here we'll close off her middle section nicely. That doesn't look too shabby. Alright, so we kind of that. Let's see if I did this right. If I did this right, this should look like it'll come out looking pretty nice with the back and forth. And then when we add the color, that'll bring out the vibrance to it. If I'm seeing it right, which I like to think that I am. At least it'd be nice. Okay. Let's go that way. Do a nice fat one there. Make this one a little bit bolder over here, kind of give a little more emphasis. Carry a little bit more weight on this side by doing it that way. Let's go ahead and fill that part in too. Just kind of trying to bring the weights back and forth in here where this feels pretty good. Some spots might need to be a little bit thicker than others. Let's see. There we go. Yep, once I get done with this inking, then we'll call it a night, because it's almost 9:30. In my neck of the woods, it's 9:30 in the night. Some people might be just getting started, like my buddy Scroll Reaper here. So there we go. Let's see. There we are. That should have a pretty good layout piece to it. Doesn't feel too bad. I might make this still a little bit bigger. I think I might bring that out a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, that feels a little bit more better. That feels a little bit better. Definitely like it a little bit more. Definitely. Let's see if we can give this maybe a shadow feel to it. Yeah, it looks a little better. Alright. And then, see this guy, this guy might come out looking pretty cool. Let's see if we can do that. Tell you what, I do love these graphic pens with the brush pen. Oh, I remember making such a huge mess with the old India ink, with the ink wells and stuff, and trying to fill up those damn pens to do inking. These guys are so nice. Granted, they don't get nearly as black, but with the digital processing we have, we can always enrich the contrast out when we scan these. So there we go. I think this will give just the right amount. Give it a little bit of movement with the way the negative air space is down there with the white. Even though it feels like it gives you a little bit of direction, a little bit of motion, a bit of pointing. So I seem to like that. Not bad at all. But yeah, I think either tomorrow or Saturday I'll come on for the live stream. I mean, I don't have them scheduled. It's scheduled for the weekends and stuff. I just have Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I'm trying to get more and more in. So maybe tomorrow or Saturday we'll start doing a watercolor on this, and then a little bit of colored pencil, and get this one finished out, and then we'll have just one more for our goal of getting 4 of these done. That way we got a neat little variation, and they'll make maybe some neat. I got them in frames, so maybe they'll make some neat picture like hang-ups. Alright, you're back, brother. Yep, almost done with the inking, and then we're going to call it a night for now. Or at least in my neck of the woods, we'll call it a night. And then, some people it's during the day. And then what we'll do is, tomorrow or Saturday, we will, do the watercolor and colored pencil. Start putting in some extra days other than Tuesdays and Thursday nights. I think the rest of this stuff I want to do just in the watercolors where it doesn't have like an illustrated lining on it like we did some of the others. So let me put this up here. The night's only begun here. Well, for me, I've already had a long day. Next week, though, I'll be working on some aircraft, and you'll see some videos on my Instagram and Facebook and TikTok if you follow me. The Linthicum Art's also on that as well, so you get to see some of the other stuff that I do. But so we got these 2 guys done up. Like I said, this one came out really nice with all the watercolor. I did just a little bit of colored pencil just to add in the blush and whatnot. This one had green eyes. I gave this one purple eyes a little bit to it, but trying to stick with the same type of primary colors a little bit. This one didn't have nearly as much gold. This one had a little bit more in it. So who knows, maybe I'll do more red or more red on this, or maybe more blues on this one, and kind of have that be another little subtle variation to it. But anyhow, alright guys, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. If you guys decide to hang with me Friday or Saturday when I do my live stream where we'll do the watercolor markers and stuff and some colored pencil, we'll see you then. If not, have yourself a great weekend, good night, God bless, and don't forget, let's create something together. Thank you, Scroll Reaper, really cool. And you guys take care. We'll see you later.